Educated and Broke
is a weekly entertainment podcast
where we mix hip-hop,
headlines, and all things ATL
into the success of Black millennials
in the Black culture.
Alrighty, guys, we are back here on Black Educated and Baroque. And cue the dramatic music, okay? Because now we're about to get into conversations with Q. Sometimes they're light and fun, and sometimes they're serious about some real stuff going on. And this right here, this is some serious talk and some more Black injustice going on. With the newest name is Jacob Blake, who is still living by the grace of God. But Q, it's your stage. Go ahead.
Oh, man, I really don't even know how to begin. I'm tired of having conversations about Black people being innocently shot by police officers or anybody for that matter, and they aren't pursued as far as the criminal isn't pursued like they should be for someone who has committed a crime. When I woke this morning and I saw the headline that read, vigilante shot and killed 2 people and the third person was injured. Now, if you look up the word vigilante, the definition does not equate to what happened last night. Right? A vigilante would be like Batman, okay? Somebody who's coming to help law enforcement, but unsanctioned. They're not committing a crime at the same time. This guy's a domestic terrorist, and that's what we need to call him. That's what he needs to be called. And we need the media, as people, all of us who work in the media, we really need to stop sugarcoating and lying about what's going on. If you think about all the white people who have caused harm to African Americans or people in general and have been apprehended, they had their day in court, okay? Had Jacob had he committed a crime, he should be awarded his day in court. That's how the judicial system is supposed to work. But no, he was shot on the grounds of where he was attempting to be arrested for no reason that I could think of. I'm over it. It's hard. Like I get really dark thoughts when it comes to what's going on with our people. And I know that I have to live for people outside of myself. So that kind of brings me back to reality, but I'm tired of seeing Black people harmed. And then we got this little fucker. What is his name? I done completely forgot his name. Mike B, help me out. What's the little white boy name that shot him?
It's the 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, the 17-year-old. You keep talking, I get the name.
He goes out to a protest armed with an AR-15. All right. Now, as someone who's a strong
Kyle
advocate,
Rittenhouse. Sorry.
Tyler, that's right.
No, it's Kyle.
Kyle
Rittenhouse.
Whatever the fuck.
Right.
As a person who is an advocate.
This is not a family show today. Just want to put that out there.
Right. As an advocate of your Second Amendment rights and carrying a firearm, I'm like I said, I'm with it. But this kid is 17. That's strike one. He's not old enough to have a rifle. So where did he get it? Let's unpack that. Who gave him the rifle, or did he steal it to use it to go out to the protest and shoot people? 2, he's from Illinois. Illinois does not allow open carry. They have gun laws. It is illegal to have weapons of that sort in that state. So he crossed state lines to go to protests against protesters. Like I don't know how I feel about that. The worst part about this whole thing is after he shoots people, there's people protesting, yelling, saying that he has shot people down here, and here he is with the AR strapped across his chest, walking up to the police with his arms raised, and what do these pigs do? These pigs roll right by him and let him continue on his way. Like, I don't understand. He's carrying a gun, and people are yelling that he has a gun. Now, had he been Black with the gun, they wouldn't even have to say that he shot anybody. They would have stopped him.
Yep.
Like, I just don't understand how our skin color allows you to get away with certain things. Now, I didn't watch the video, but there is a video circulating around that shows cops cheering him on. as far as being there with a rifle and being there to help them out. He has posts on his Facebook page of him wanting to be a cop, going through some kind of little cop academy for kids, Blue Life Matter post. Like he was raised as a terrorist. If you commit a crime on U.S. soil, you are a domestic terrorist. So I want to open it up for my people to help me out and talk about this, man. I get so worked up when it comes to dealing with our people and when we're done wrong, especially for no reason. But you got Dylan Roof. He shot 9 people at a church, killed them, took his little weak ass to Burger King. This little dude crossed state lines. That's a federal offense right there, on top of the felonies that you already committed. And they giving him water. Are you okay? The fuck are you talking about? Is he okay? And then we got the dude who shot at the movie theater for Batman.
Yeah.
And we got we can go on and
You can go on
about
and on.
shootings of
All
white
them
people
school
killing
shootings.
somebody.
All them schools.
All the school shooters. Well, if they didn't commit suicide, yes, they were
Yes.
apprehended. Like, this is ridiculous, man. I'm not with it, okay? I'm not that black man, and we're not that black generation that our parents. I had this conversation with my mom's, and she was talking about how our generation is not having it. And I said, we're not y'all. You know, y'all let it go on. Y'all did what was best for y'all at that time. Y'all did what y'all knew to do. We know better, and we just not going for it anymore, man. And I don't think we should have to. I'm not saying that we should shoot police, but I'm saying that when they're committing a crime against us, we should intervene, and we should be armed wherever we go.
Okay, guys, and so let's take a break right there, because that was a lot for us to definitely digest, to unwind. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and give our opinions about it. We're all going to speak and see what our thoughts are. So it's getting deep. Conversations with Q. Keep listening. Come back here on Black, Educated, and Broke.
Everybody want to be a rapper, but don't nobody want to rap. Well, we're going to give you a chance to rap on Slap It or Dap It. Send us your music, your MP3 to blackeducatedandbroke@gmail.com, and we'll play it. What's even better is we're going to invite you to the show, and then you can show the world and us what you got. You think you got what it takes? We're going to see.
All right, guys, you're listening to Black, Educated, and Broke. Right before we took a break here, we were in the middle of conversations with Q, and we're talking about the aftermath of what happened to Jacob Blake and to the white boy. I believe his name was, Kyle, and him being considered a vigilante after killing 2 people. And so we kind of left on the stance of kind of what was our whole thoughts. Some of the facts that we kind of discussed after, we took our break here that I know that I personally read upon was that Jacob, from what I read in the article, I believe it was the Washington Post, and they were saying that he was breaking up a fight between 2 women. Maya came to confirm that it was 2 white women. He was breaking up a fight. And I watched the video as he's walking to his car. Of course, you can tell the police are trying to say something, but he gets into the car, which, by the way, he had his 3 sons inside of the SUV. I believe they were 3, 5, and 7. They were in the car. He's reaching and getting in his car, and they take, I want to say it was about seven rounds in his back. So at this point, he is paralyzed from the waist down. And I know that they got a GoFundMe. They started that GoFundMe when I checked it earlier today. It was the max they were trying to get was $2 million.
Yo,
that was at 1.5 million last time I checked. I'm sure it's past 2 million.
I thought it was at like 3 something.
Maybe it surpassed it, because this was earlier today at 1 o'clock on August the 26th. It was at 2 million, and they had made 1.5, and a lot of the money, of course, to go for all of his medical expenses, because you got to do rehabilitation.
Yeah, that's getting paid. But you know, black celebs are anonymously. They dropping it. They dropping it.
They want to pay for stuff for the kids being traumatized, to see that happen to them. A lot of different things. So here's my thought with it. And this is just, I feel with anything, I'm never a fan of it, turning your back towards the police. I just don't trust that these days. Like, you walking out where they're talking to you. I think like that's dangerous, sadly. But I think it was absolutely not justifiable for him to lose his life. For me to look at the glass half full, I'm happy that he did not die. I'm very much happy that he did not die, because I feel like that's one of the things that I feel like the movement you know, because the dead can't speak for themselves, right? But if you got somebody, this whole journey, I'm glad that he's living, and I'm glad that he's gonna be able to use his voice more. Where all the ones that did not, you know, so you can't hear what, you know, because I feel like you think about Trayvon, we don't know what the last words were. When we see the stuff with Alton Sterling, we don't know what the last words necessarily were. But here, this man, shoot, you can recant everything that happened. So, you know, we just got off of this higher wave in May. It's like it's a continuation. So it's like it's not stopping. I do feel like more people, our eyes are peeled back. You know, and I feel like justice is definitely going to be served. So I'm praying for that. I don't know when this shit is going to stop, but I'm glad he's alive. As far as that white boy, because I watched that video, that was disturbing and unfair as hell. Because I saw the point where he's walking off, or he got the gun, like I said, an AR, he's walking down the street, and I see where he's kind of, the video I seen, other protesters are trying to jump him and tackle him because he had just shot somebody down the road. So they're trying to tackle his ass, and as he's falling down, he shoots, killing somebody else and injuring. He get his ass up, walk down the street, got his hands somewhat up. No, he had his hands up. Walk right past the police. You hear the protesters in the video. He's the shooter. He's the shooter. They did not do anything and let him keep walking. When I tell you, like, that was such a scream, the fact that he's 17, he's young, he's carrying a gun, he's white, nothing freaking happened. Like, that is so ludicrous to me. So, you know, I feel like it's all about to come out. I feel like, you know, ever since, you know, our president came into office, and I just kind of feel like that all the real racist people is out. Like, it ain't hidden. It is out. All of those who are not for you are out and proud about it. And I just feel like that's part of the change of 2020. Like, it's no more behind. Stiff is going to be in our face. And we really got to make a decision how we're going to change it. That's all I got. Ron, I see you done huffed up. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ron. Look out.
Something's got to happen. And it ain't going to be nothing good. Q told y'all don't shoot police.
I never said don't shoot the police.
Well,
I said,
at some point we got to take shit into our own hands, man, because the law is not for us. Breonna Taylor's murderers still haven't been arrested. This little boy walked right past the police, firearm and all, and they just let him go. It just baffles me how, you know, when it comes to white people and black people, the laws just get twisted all up. If you see a white man with a gun, fine, he's cool. Mind you, that an angry mob stormed a state building.
Yes, they did.
With firearms. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
An unarmed black man, whatever the situation was, he was walking away from the police. He gets shot 7, 8 times in the back. You're not allowed to shoot nobody in the back, bro.
That's what I'm trying to thought.
Cops are not supposed to fire if you are retreating. Now, can they stop you? Yes, but they are not supposed to fire their weapons if you are retreating. The same way I can't shoot nobody in the back. So how is it that if I do it, my black ass is going to prison? Probably.
You just said why? Because you a black ass. That's the reason right there, man. You're not getting off. For one, you're not a cop. For two, you're black. So you're guilty before you're innocent. That's what it is with us. We are guilty until proven innocent.
None of these laws were written for us, but we supposed to abide by. I don't understand, man. I don't. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it.
Oh no, I ain't going out like that. I'm telling you right now. I ain't going.
None of these laws are written for us, but we gotta abide by them. But yet a white guy has his whole life ahead of him committing crimes like this. Like, they be raping folks, get off with house arrest, barely.
Affluent. That's what they call them, affluent.
They be killing us, they barely get probation. Like, so
about the what about the young lady who moved her kid, used another address? She got 5 years. in prison.
Mm-hmm.
But Lori Loughlin got 2 months.
2 months and her husband 5 months.
Come on.
And the other lady
They
just got
probably not
house
gonna do
arrest
all. They
and
probably not
probation.
gonna do all that either.
You know they
No,
not.
they're not doing. And if they do, they're doing it in a lush plush cell. They're not gonna be in Gen Pop.
Yeah. It's just Q said we're not our parents because we're not as complacent as they were. We're not taking this shit. But at the same time, it's gonna take a whole lot more for us to get the attention of white America. They know what's going on. They just choose to turn a blind eye to it. You see a white person get arrested or get roughed up by the cops, you're treating me like a black person. They know exactly what's going on because how can they make a reference like that? You know what I mean?
Come on, Maya.
So they're choosing not to pay attention. Therefore, we have to make them. And if that takes burning down this whole goddamn country, burning the shit down. Because watch them not rebuild it. Who's going to be rebuilding it? And what they going to be moving to? Because why do we have to gentrify our neighborhoods because they want to move in? They've been showing us all along. They want what we got. That's why they be moving into our neighborhoods, riding our buses, taking our men. Don't know how to raise black babies, but they have them.
That ain't the man you want anyway. If you
It's
going
not.
with
Nope.
Trust and believe. God knows my heart. He knows what not to give me.
Right.
But I'm just
Did I see
saying,
that there's riots in Atlanta yesterday?
Yeah, I saw the riot yesterday. I saw the
Okay,
videos.
that's what I thought.
And they had another
Right,
protest
I didn't
today.
see that.
They had another protest today at CNN at 5.
Well, they already tore it up, so ain't nothing to do down there.
You know, and
Yeah.
just if I can just
They,
insert,
they
I just
moving
saw
CNN anyway.
like
Yeah,
an
don't put my
email
business up,
here,
please.
an email from Sean King, and one of the things he put in here, there's a video of a white supremacist saying police plan to push protesters towards them. They had strategized together. I did not know that. Like, meaning they were saying the white supremacists and the 17-year-old, yeah, they were plan was to push the protesters to the police so it can all. I'm like, this is like crazy.
I saw a tweet today, and it said more black people have gone to jail for protesting police murders than the number of police who have actually murdered black people.
Wow.
And now people are getting killed for protesting police killings.
That's
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on y'all to stop being peaceful. That's all.
Me too. I'm ready for y'all to start burning shit up.
What are we doing? Nat Turner's birthday just passed. Like, when are we gonna get the spirit of Nat Turner, the spirit of Tucson? Like, I'm not that passive nigga that was in the house shining silverware. That's not my role. That's not how I was bred, and that's just not me. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing no protesting. No, you can keep the protests. Let me know when y'all really want to turn up.
I'm tired of protesting. I've been to enough protests. I'm sorry.
I'm good on the
I'm
protests.
sorry.
That don't do shit. What have we gotten? Now, matter of fact, only people who real life protesting is Portland. You know, they in like at night 89. They've been doing it.
Yeah, they the one
every
you trying to put
night.
the guards down there up there on them.
Yeah, they've been
And
protesting.
It's crazy how folks say protesting raises awareness, but
It does, though.
how are you raising awareness when people are already aware? They already know what's going on. You know what I mean?
So, you know, this how, and I'm going to go ahead and let Mike have the floor about that whole awareness, because I do have a different kind of perspective. I think protesting definitely does bring awareness, and it's like, yeah, you got some people that are definitely already aware, but you do got some people that really are not aware, and I think the biggest thing is children or younger people, and I mean not people of color, I mean with other races. I don't think that them parents, I'm sure they were shielding their kids. Why you saying
other races? These are white kids, Randy?
I'm talking about white. I'm talking about Mexican. I'm talking about Asian. Because it ain't just a black and white. Now we need all the colors of the rainbow to fix
You just
it.
named every other person that's not black that's racist towards black folks,
right?
And are benefiting off of black folks.
Everybody's racist to us.
Well,
there's not one race out there.
But my whole thing is because that may be the case. They're not showing their kids stuff like that. But I'm saying. Their children, their offspring, they're seeing this more, and I do believe. And this for my little younger friends, and I mean these are little kids that may be aged from 13 to 15, and you know, to hear their perspective, because they didn't know these little white kids, they were not aware. So these kind of things are bringing that to the forefront as far as some of that, but I don't think we should stop protesting. At the end of the day, you can say some people are gonna protest, some people are gonna do some shit that's just gonna burn some stuff down. But I'm not against either one. Do what's best for you. So I don't want to tell people to stop protesting, because just because you don't see a difference, there's somebody that is watching these protests that I feel like is changing their lives. We ain't hearing about it, but I don't think it should stop. But I think there needs to be more. Go ahead, Mike.
I will never, and I don't want to challenge y'all, but everybody has a role. And in the words of Dr. Bernice King at the Rayshard Brooks homegoing, and I think I've posted it like once a week, every week through the summer up until now. I just posted it on social media, my personal social media. If we miss this moment, and I think what we cannot do is, whether you are peaceful or not, we cannot downplay Dr. King just because Nat Turner had his uprising, or when we talk about some of those leaders, everybody played a role. And I think the problem now, because I have said to baby boomers and older generation, and it's baby boomers of a certain generation, because my mother is of that baby boomer age, but they were here in Atlanta in the 60s and the 70s, where her parents went to HBCU here in Atlanta. They grew up here in Atlanta. They grew up in a safe bubble here in Black Enterprise. And so I get a little emotional about this, because this is what I'm about, as far as when I say Black excellence. But as I question these baby boomers, and I talk to them all the time, but this is the moment of solidarity. So if you want to go out and be violent or revenge, know the sacrifice and do it, and stop talking about it. For those of us who, because I didn't believe in burning down stuff. It has been done and nothing has changed. It's so much that happens in Los Angeles, and they have burnt down LA multiple times, and still to this day, the excuses we make in our community. This is the moment where we as a people, whether you're 80 or 8, besides educating each other, but I think this is the time to stand in solidarity, regardless of your job, regardless of your political position, regardless, and I'm speaking for Black people first, regardless of your income, because, you know, when me and Randy work, especially me, I'm always told to watch what I say, especially on social media. And I don't, because you're not going to stop me, and I don't plan on stopping. If we miss this moment to stand in solidarity, like we are watching the NBA, the WNBA, to see the MLB say we're not going to play today, to see the NFL cancel practice. If we don't stand in solidarity today, then from burning stuff down to looking at the leaders like Toussaint, to looking at the leaders like Nat Turner, to looking at some of the views of Malcolm, even to the protest and peaceful learning moments of the civil rights movement, then we'll be back in chaos. We won't never take back our community. And to talk about gentrification, it was our parents who decided to leave our neighborhoods that they grew up in and not clean it up. I am one person who I can tell here in Atlanta, Georgia, my mother, my grandparents, my immediate family never left the city of Atlanta. We keep it clean. We support our local politicians. We know them personally. We are out there. But you watch so many Black people, especially here in Atlanta, soon they see a cheaper house and a yard, they ran. And then we have the nerve to complain about gentrification. When we left it, and we left it trashy, and we left it nasty, and then we left the old people there, like in English Avenue here in Atlanta, here in Peoplestown. We left those elders there, knowing that they won't be here much longer. In Peoplestown, they just lost a civil rights community activist, and there's still a small group of elders there who eventually they're going to kick them out because we left. We ran away. If we don't stand together now, regardless of what your role is, media, you want to, let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, I'm not a guns guy. Can't stand them. don't get it twisted. I know how to use it. You ain't gonna pull no okie doke on me, because I'm straight black. I'm straight whatever I am when I want to be, when I'm not being professional. But at the end of the day, play your role and use this moment. And if we don't do it, you can kiss the justice that you want, the equality that you want. Goodbye. And back to chaos we go. And in the words of Dr. King, in the words of Dr. Bernice King, I stand by it. And we have to stand by it. And I know we got to wrap, but justice will roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. But we got to do it as a people. Go to break.
All right, guys, let that absorb in right here on Black, Educated, and Broke.
Hey, man, grab your phone, grab your mama phone, grab your auntie and your granny phone, and tell them to follow us on Instagram as well as Facebook.
And that's going to be at Black, Educated, and Broke.
We also on YouTube, y'all. Subscribe.
And follow us on Twitter at BEB Podcast _ATL.
Now, if you forget, I'm about to kick you in the ass.
Ooh, not the A.
All right.
We in the A.